thanks for tuning in. Welcome to this edition of Venue Visit with Backline EQ. I am the F-Bomb, and let's get started. This edition of Venue Visit takes us to Akron, Ohio, to a venue called the VORTEX. The VORTEX is truly dedicated to original music. 95% of the bands booked there are originals, and from what I gather, it's mainly metal bands, metal style bands that are booked in there. The business has been open since 2011 and has gained a reputation as being fully supportive of the local music community. Prior to it becoming mainly a metal venue, it was a hip-hop venue where hip-hop artists could come in and do their original acts. And fun fact, Jelly Roll actually performed here when he was a struggling hip-hop artist back in 2011, 2012, when the business first started. Also, prior to that, the VORTEX, the building was a strip club. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. So now I understand the round-the-club vinyl seating, which you'll see in the pictures in a little bit. So I'm going to start this venue visit with information regarding load-in, stage, sound, things that are relevant to those musicians that are wanting to play there and have never been in the venue before and don't really know what to expect. I have not played there. However, I took an observing role and decided to come up with my summation of what I observed. So first things first, the VORTEX has a dedicated sound and light man with backline provided, such as monitors, power, the lighting for the stage, front of house. And as per management, the bands are welcome to bring more for affect if they would like to show off a little bit more, or if they need something specific. I can say that the sound man seems to be quite skilled and up to date with technology that's out there right now. The main stage is more than adequate, and a well-planned stage plot, you could get 7 performers on that stage, although it might be tight if those players like to move around quite a bit. The stage is adequately built, sturdy, and elevated appropriately for the size of the room. The room also has adequate space for band merch, too. Although I imagine a bigger bill might require the use of a space that's normally meant for extra storage. It looks the same as the venue, but it's just not used during smaller events. So if there's a larger draw, they would potentially use that merch table in that corner. Although I can't say that that's what they would do. It is just something that if there was a band taking up where the fans are taking up most of the space, they would have to utilize what space they could. So just wanted to throw that out there in case anybody says that it's never used. There's always somebody. But I want to add that merch is definitely a priority for the bands that play at this venue. So of course, they're going to want to be able to sell whatever they can. And of course, that depends on how big their merch table is. And I have seen some pretty elaborate and very well put together merch tables during my visits at the VORTEX. The load-in is pretty easy for this venue. The parking lot is paved and in good shape, and the alleyway has a kind of a cool vibe to it too, but that is where you would bring your gear into. The bands load through there and then directly into the venue. But it is also for those folks to step outside to chat and smoke and catch some air. So there's, outdoor lighting, there's some picnic tables. And when the bands do finish loading in, the door shuts so that there's no strays wandering in from the streets without paying the cover charge. Now, this is where I throw in my suggestion for the venue on behalf of the patrons and the bands. More lighting. More lighting in the lot specifically. It is rather dim, and while I didn't feel unsafe, I did feel as though there are potential, quote, opportunities for someone with bad intentions, which means Having been alone, I would have felt safer with more lights in the lot. I will say, upon my first visit at the Vortex, the kind doorman did walk me out and made sure that I made it to my car safely. So, of course, one could ask for an escort to their car. However, when it comes to the bands and their gear, if there were more lighting, it would make for a safer environment for them upon load in and load out. We have all heard or experienced theft or attempted theft of equipment in darkened areas, and it is just dark enough that this could potentially happen. Mind you, bands are usually well aware to watch their gear, but lighting and cameras can go a long way to assist in crime prevention. I also want to mention that I encountered nothing but friendly patrons and staff at the Vortex during both visits. I mean, let's face it, metalheads are very friendly people and they're a very tight community. So when you're amongst them, you feel pretty safe and you feel as though people are watching your back, making sure that you are safe. Let's talk about sound. Both visits were with bands from the metal or metalcore community, so it is loud, aggressive, and heavy, as it should be. But the room is well managed by the skillful sound man. I want to give kudos to that man. I did not meet him, but I didn't remember encountering any feedback or low ground noise or an unbalanced room. The room is wider than it is deep, and that probably is keeping it more controlled as well. As far as booking is concerned, bands usually email the entertainment manager, so check their website. Currently, the email is vortexakron@gmail.com. I spoke to staff at the Vortex when it came to history of the building and bands booking and so on. So I want to shout out to Brent. He is part of management. Also Josh. He is also part of management. And Mike, the friendliest bartender in Akron. And according to all three of them, bands need to have a strong presence in the community and be ready to put it out there and have fun at the same time. Band and club promote themselves equally, and plenty of social media presence with graphic arts on their website, and also the bands themselves can promote on the Vortex's webpage on Facebook. There are opportunities for promoters to book an event at their expense, but generally the club splits 50-50 with the bands that book. Sometimes there is a higher profile band that plays at the Vortex, and that band may get a little bit bigger percentage, but for both bands and clients, expect a door charge all the time for bands that are playing. I have yet to see a flyer that offers free cover charge. I'm sure that there are events where that happens, but mainly you are paying the band by paying a cover charge. The club is only open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and only when shows are booked. And the bar opens at 6:30 p.m. So the small bar and room remains closed until 6:30 with no service, and you are basically not to go into that room until it is open. They serve popcorn and have regular drink specials, but food is generally not available. The bar room follows the main theme of the venue. So the checkered floor, the red vinyl seating along the wall. There is a small stage in that room, much smaller stage, more for a duo or a DJ. The bar room gives a little reprieve from the band, making it easier to talk or order a beverage. There is no bar service in the main venue. Makes sense. Plus, there are TVs for those that just simply want to have a beverage after work, sit back, have conversation with people they know, just some downtime. It is very much a nightclub vibe in that room, but it is nice to be able to get away from the chaos that comes from, mosh pits and, loud music and things like that. Those are always fun, but sometimes you got to take a break from it. Am I right? The vibe of the Vortex, to me, is post-80s punk. That's my take on it. It reminds me of some of the venues that I had gone to as a young adult. The black and white checkered floor with the red vinyl seating reminds me of these places. And when you add the mirrored walls in the main room, it's one mirrored wall in the main room, that just totally throws the 80s vibe in there. I mean, I imagine at one time there was a mirror ball in the center of that room. No doubt in my mind. But punky grit, I guess if we wanted to get technical, punky grit is the vibe there. And it's very prominent in the ladies' room. Sorry, guys, I didn't check out the men's room. It's not my thing. But the ladies' room is red and black with band stickers all over. And it says, "Rock and roll is alive and well" in Akron, Ohio. The drinks are priced appropriately. They're not gougy. And Mike is a wonderful asset to the staff. He's very friendly. And I just want to say thank you for being a great host to Backline EQ once again. All of the staff during both of my visits were friendly and glad to see you when you came in, and very helpful. I have to say I needed a little handout there when I was there last, and they accommodated me very nicely. The Vortex is a rock venue for sure. So go follow them on social media. Go to a show down there. Check it out and take in the vibe of Akron. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Backline EQ. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow. I am the F-Bomb, and I'll see you at the next gig.